I said, I want to start a new genre of music. And they said, what do you mean? And I said, well, it's called gay pop.
Jojo Siwa said she wants to start a new genre called gay pop. But the thing is, gay pop has always existed. Obviously, there's a lot of LGBTQIA+ musicians we'll never know about, but let's celebrate some of the music makers we do know from the 20s to today. Starting in the 1920s, Bessie Smith, Ma Rainey, and Lucille Bogan were all queer women. Bogan in particular came up with songs like the legendary BD, a song about women loving women. Fast forward to the 1950s, queer artists were creating music even if they couldn't be explicit about it. People like Johnny Ray, a sexually fluid performer, climbed the charts with his hit Cry. And of course, there was Big Mama Thornton, known widely for her song Hound Dog that some white guy happened to cover, who dressed in men's clothing. While her sexuality is still debated, it's widely accepted that she was a queer woman. On the other hand, we do have less subtle examples like Little Richard's Tutti Frutti. Yeah, definitely not the most discreet. Then we enter the 60s. Free love was everywhere and music reflected that. Artists were getting a bit bolder with their lyrics like Jack Hammer's When a Girl Loves a Girl. Hell yeah. You've likely heard this song from Leslie Gore on TikTok. But the anthem wasn't just about not wanting to be tied down by the bounds of a relationship. Gore came out as a lesbian in 2005, and with that context, we totally see why she really didn't want to be tied down to a man. While he famously denied any of the allegations, it was considered an open secret by many that performer Liberace was gay. His flamboyant style and over-the-top performances were the inspiration for many after him. He was certainly, and perhaps unfortunately, ahead of his time. The 70s bring an era of divas that reign supreme over gay music. Idols like Cher, Donna Summer, Tina Turner really made their mark during this time, even if they didn't identify as queer themselves. We also get the Village People's YMCA during this era, so yeah, the 70s was a big gay time. Not to mention disco, arguably the music of nightclubs, especially queer cornerstones like Studio 54. This begins the peak era for queer icons like Grace Jones, Elton John, Freddie Mercury, George Michael, David Bowie, and Prince, who dominated through the 80s and 90s too. In the 80s, we get Madonna, Whitney Houston, and of course, more Cher. Not to mention the anthem from Miss Diana Ross, I'm Coming Out, debuted in 1980, even if she didn't intend for it to be originally. The iconic It's Raining Men from the Weather Girls, I Wanna Break Free from Queen, and Bronski Beat's Small Town Boy quickly became gay staples. Arguably, one of the most important songs that capture the queer experience, I Am What I Am, originally from the Broadway show La Cage aux Folles, was released in 1983. The song is an unapologetic celebration from a drag queen encouraging people to open up their closets. It was later covered by the diva herself, Gloria Gaynor, making it even more popular. It's been covered so many times. Besides being a true ballad to loving oneself without hesitation, it's looked at now as a sentimental nod to a time that was extremely difficult for the gay community. The 90s was a big era for lesbians and sapphic music. 4 Non-Blondes with What's Up, Tracy Chapman's Gimme One Reason, and Melissa Etheridge with Come to My Window topped the charts throughout the decade. This is also when RuPaul's Supermodel You Better Work came out and Madonna's Vogue, 2 fundamental queer songs. And of course, the enduring Believe by Cher came out in 1998. Have we mentioned Cher yet? The early 2000s was arguably the golden age of pop music, with Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Mariah Carey, boy bands like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and 98 Degrees, and thankfully, the introduction of Destiny's Child, TLC, and the Spice Girls. Queer duo Tegan and Sara also shot to fame during the early aughts. And then, in 2008, the mother monster herself, Lady Gaga, explodes on the scene and changes everything with Just Dance. And here we are today, with artists more open about their queerness than ever before, like Lil Nas X, Renee Rapp, Kehlani, Chappell Roan, Janelle Monáe, Ethel Cain, Big Frida, and so many more. Now, to be fair, after the backlash, Siwa clarified she knew that she didn't start gay pop, but still, cheers to gay pop music, a genre that doesn't need to be invented or started, because much like queer folks, it's been here.